Welcome back guys to another video. Today I'll be showing you how I make my website non-generic, and I do it for free. Well, I do it for a little expense, not for free, but it's really good workflow and I'll show you guys how to replicate it. So, we start off with Claude. Claude is essentially how you make your prompt for later on, which you give to AI. Claude is really good for writing prompts as long as you give it the proper context. As long as you give it the proper context, Claude can generate the best prompt for later on to give to AI, as it can understand what you want better than any other AIs right now on the market. This is what I use for my website, and that's how I know it will work for you. Then moving on to AI IDEs. AI IDEs is essentially how you write your code, but you don't really write your code, as you get AI to write it for you. I currently use Google Anti-Gravity and Cursor, which they're both really good, as long as you give the proper prompt from Claude. Claude is essentially the initiator in this entire process. If Claude does something wrong, you won't get the result that you want it to do. So make sure you go really in depth with Claude. So Google Anti-Gravity is like an AI IDE, and Cursor is the same. They both have a limit on what you can do, but as far as I've tested, is that Google Anti-Gravity has a more generous limit than Cursor, but both are really good. So you could just switch between the two when you need to. That's what I do. Then moving on to GitHub. GitHub is essentially where your code lives and breathes, essentially. It's where you can manage your code. If you want to manage changes to your website, you can do that. And if you want to manage your changes, all you have to do is just commit a change in one of the IDE's repositories, and then that'll automatically be changed on GitHub. So that's what makes GitHub really powerful, and it's also free, which is excellent. Moving on to Namecheap. Namecheap is essentially what keeps this unpaid, as you need a domain for your website. You can do this for free, but you have like a .netlify.app domain, which isn't really professional for a business. So I pay around £10 a month on Namecheap for my domain, which works around to about less than a pound less than a pound a month. So that's the only thing not keeping this entire process free. Then moving on to Netlify. Netlify is where you host your website and how it can be published to the web. So this is where you can connect your domain from Namecheap, and you can connect your GitHub repository into Netlify, and it does all that for you. To connect your domain to Netlify, it does require some technical experience, but I'm pretty sure there's a tutorial somewhere out there. I did have difficulties with this step, but I did contact Netlify support, and they were really helpful with that. And then with Netlify, that publishes it to the web, which makes sure that your website is public for everyone to see and view. If you want an example on how I did this with my current website, I'll leave a link in the description so you can see how this entire process is repeated in actual world practice. This is the exact process I used for my website, and I'm pretty sure I can help you do the same with yours. If you need any help, feel free to contact me on Instagram. I will leave a link in the description to my Instagram below, and I'm happy to take any help or suggestions you have for any other videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.